Good evening, good night. Does not matter when you are joining us. If you're joining us live, we always love that. But if you're joining us at another time, then that is okay too. Anyways, I want to welcome you to another episode of First Light. And as always, I always love when you throw your name and say hi in the comment section. Wait, sorry, I always say the name, but you don't need to put your name in. Facebook, they do that for free. Anyways, but yeah, just throw your, say hi in the comment section, and then we can just be like chatting together. Sorry about last week. We had a bit of a challenge. Well, good morning, Tristan Bowington. Tristan Bowington, where are you? Maybe you can let everybody know where you are located in the world this week, and then maybe let everyone know where you are located in the world next week. And then I'll just give a bit of a heads up on that. But anyways, good morning to everybody here that are joining us. We go through this fun little experience of every Thursday morning chatting about different things. Now, in 2022, we have decided to go through the Bible and to walk through that as a whole journey, and so we had challenges last week with people not being able to find this video, and I'm wondering if we're having challenges again, just hitting up. Yeah, packing away, going to be in Chilliwack. That's right. There we are going to be having Tristan, who with Bowington. Her main name is McKibben, and so yes, my daughter and granddaughter are moving out in the beginning or in the middle of next week, and then Jacob, our son-in-law, is going to be moving out later on in the year. So we're so excited about that, and glad that you are joining with us here. I'm just wanted to just encourage you to say hi and whatnot in this comment section. That's great. We've got a big issue coming up today, and so it's going to be a fun one. I sent out a Jeep thought yesterday afternoon, but then I guess Facebook crashed or something. I'm not really sure, but anyways, we are doing it again. I did it last night, posted it. Took me 15 minutes to upload. We're camping right now. I've come back home to be able to do this video. Yeah, it was a little bit, it was interesting. But anyways, good morning, Richard. It's great having you with us as well. And as we go through this, I do not know why these things keep putting things on my screen that just kind of annoy me. But anyways, thought I'd do the coffee mug of the day, as I always have been. There's nothing really special to this one. I bought this one for Carrie because she likes lemons, and so this is a lemon coffee mug, and I thought, well, seeing as it's most likely questionably the longest day that we'll be having First Light, I'm not really sure when it comes to what next Thursday is going to be, but anyways, next Thursday might be the longest one. But good morning, Jerry from Cambridge. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, so you can tell that, okay, you know, even though it's 9:30 in the morning there, good morning from Cambridge. Okay, so good morning, Jerry, who is impersonating Yoda today. That's good. Jim, it's great having you. Oh, I'm Ontario. There we go. Okay, good. So anyways, so it is a good day to be here with you. Just a bit of a reminder. Oh, I always forget to get you guys to chime in on this part at the beginning, but a good question to ask at some point, whether you put it in the comment section or ask yourself, is this, why have you chosen to attend First Ave? It'd be a good question for you to kind of work through. Good morning, Doug. Good to see you. Ran into some of your friends yesterday, Doug and Lori. And so I don't know if you've heard that yet, but yeah, I ran into a couple of your friends who I can see why they're your friends. They're really, really fun people. But anyways, that's great. But yeah, so we are going through this thing, and just that question to ask yourself, why is it that you go to First Ave and attend there? So I have a lot to talk about. I've got more pages than I normally do. So let's see if we can get through this. But today I want us to look at this issue. We've been going through the vision statement of pursuing the person and presence of God in us, through us, and around us. And so for the first 3 months-ish, we looked at what it means for God to work in us. And you can watch those on Facebook, but now we've got them on YouTube. I haven't even checked yet, but we've got like over 700 views already, and it's only been going up for a couple of weeks. So I think that's kind of cool. And maybe one time I'll do like the top 5, issues or top 5 videos that people are watching. But you can watch it there. But we're also continuing on of the. Sorry, I got it. This is just the squirrel brain in me. Okay, and it's just totally unrelated. I just have my phone here in case I was worried that we weren't posting this morning or something like that. And I just got a message from my cell provider saying that, oh no, we've used up 75% of our infinite high-speed data. So I think the cell service is in trouble. Anyways, sorry, that's just random, and I know that doesn't need many, we're gonna move on. Anyway, so we got to get going on this thing. But yeah, this is one of the good things about having it live, is that I can just go for the next 6 days and regret half the things I said. So let's take a moment and pray, and we're gonna dive right into this issue. This crazy issue is, should the church be attractive? And I say yes. Okay, so let's just pray. So God, I want to thank you for the church. I thank you for the global church and how you are moving in various ways in various parts of the world, Lord, and being with those who are struggling and suffering, and being with those who are experiencing your splendor and just really relishing in the joy of what you're doing there. So God, I just ask that at all times that we'd be attuned to what you are calling us to do as our part in the church. And we ask this in your name. Amen. All right. Well, let's keep going on this thing. So we're talking about this thing, as I said, that this God working in us, but now we're talking about God working through us. And so sometimes we're dealing with I know, Tristan, I know. But so we're dealing with this issue of God working through us. So some of the issues, God working in us, we're circling back on. Because now that God has worked in us, how is it that he's working through us in this thing? And so I was looking up here, and as I said, should the church be attractive? And I'm saying it must be attractive. The church has to be attractive in order for it to flourish. That is my belief, and I'd love to have discussion on it at some point. But this is what I'm getting at. Okay, so let me talk about, I looked it up. CNN put a report out, and it was the top 10 reasons why people go to church. And so I'm going to give you percentages. And I guess people could check off the boxes because the percentages do not equal 100, just warning you now. But if one of them or some of them kind of surprise you, or if you agree, put it in the comment section. I don't even care if it's later on. I don't care if it's on YouTube. I'd love to get the comments on this. But the top 10 reasons. Ready? Okay, here we go. Top 10, top reason. 81%, get closer to God. 69%, for their children to have a moral foundation. Okay? 68%, or 68% ticked off, okay, be a better person. 66% said to have comfort, basically. They were going through a crisis, going through a hard time, and so they were going to church to help them through that thing. Okay, here's an interesting one. The next two. 58% said that they saw the value in the sermons. Okay. 57%, so basically the same thing, said to find a faith community. So basically the same. 58% said the sermon, 57% said to find a good faith community. 37% said family tradition, 31% said felt obligated. So a third of the people said that they felt obligated to go to church. 20%, so 1 in 5 checked off the box to meet new people. And then 16% said to be able to please a family member. Now, remember that. You look at that and say, oh, only 20% said to find new people. Maybe maybe you can look at that a different way. Okay, so here are the top 10 reasons why people don't go to church. And actually, I'm not going to list them all, but I'm going to point out a few here. So 37% said they don't go to church because they practice their religion a different way. So basically how you guys do church is different than how I would do church, or that sort of thing, right? And then that was a third of the people, okay? A quarter of the people, 23%, said haven't found one they liked yet. Okay, so 1 in 4 of people who don't go to church said they would go to church if they found a church that they liked. Okay, interesting. 18%, so basically 1 in 5, said they don't like the sermons. Okay, it's fine. But here's the point. So it's 18% and 14%, so we're pretty close, said they don't feel welcome. They don't feel welcome in church. And then 12% said no time, which is a joke. You'll always find time for the things you want to do. So we're just going to leave that one alone. But that's like 1 in 12. That's what 1 in 8 said that here. But people said, a quarter of the people said, I just haven't found a church I like. Okay. So I want to say this. I feel that people hide their real reasons, though, for choosing church. Okay. They go where they think they're going to like it. But here's what I want to get at. They're going to go where they feel they like it. But they're going to stay if they feel they're liked. I'm going to say that again. They're going to go where they feel they like it. But I truly believe that they will stay where they feel they are liked. I remember hearing a quote, and it was a really powerful one. I wish it was mine. I'd write a book. But no, they said that people will go to church for many reasons, but they'll stay in church because of friends, relationships. And so that's why when I was looking at those things, I found that interesting that the high percentage of like 60%, like 58% said that they value the sermons. That's why they go to church, which makes me go, okay, good. I really have to put effort into what I say. But the other side, the flip side here, says that almost the same amount of people, like whatever percentage, was because they actually want to be in a community. They don't want to attend a show. They don't want to attend a performance. They don't want to enter to be in some sort of production. Okay, so thank you, Doug. Snoop Doug. Okay, you are too kind. Okay, but like they want to be in a faith community. They want to be surrounded by people like that. Okay, so this basically, here's the issue. A lot of pressure is put on churches to bring pastors on who are likable and everybody's friend. Okay? And it's like, oh, everybody, like, I want to be the pastor's friend. I want to be the pastor's friend. And that's great. And believe me, this is not like some therapy and like, or I should have seen a therapist. I'm going to vent here for the next half hour. No, that's not what I'm getting at. It's that, and I get it. Like, when I think of the churches I went to, like, before I attended, or before I was on staff somewhere, that, like, Bert Lira is like a mentor to me, but like actual like screen time with Bert, not that much, to be honest. And I even worked for him. So like, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with Bert, but like, he's a legend to me, right? He was my pastor. And I go like, does it really have to come down to being like your golf buddy here or your coffee guy or whatever? Or here, is it God calling us to something different? It's not that the pastor has to be attractive. Okay. I saw on the screen and that was very, very scary. So no, it's not that the pastor has to be attractive in that sense. It's that the church has to be attractive. Okay, so I want to read this passage that's found in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And we're going to start with the first couple of verses here, because the first couple of verses, I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of awkward. Okay, here we go. Okay, it says, verse 12 says, "Now I ask you, brothers and sisters, to give recognition to those who labor among you and lead you in the Lord and admonish you, and to regard them very highly in love because of their work. Be at peace among yourselves." Like, I don't know many pastors that preach that passage, because to be honest with you, it's kind of like promoting, seeing it as Pastor's Appreciation Sunday. I think we're going to read that text here. Okay, that's pretty awkward. but is this text about pastors? I think probably as you're listening to it, you like me are reading it and going, okay, like it's great and kind of awkward that he's reading it. But did you read it? Is it really about pastors here again? It's about leaders. But it's not only about like the leading leaders, it's also about the laboring leaders. Laboring leaders. So let me read this again. Now we ask you, brothers and sisters, to give recognition to those who labor among you and lead you in the Lord and admonish you, and to regard them very highly in love because of their work. Be at peace among yourselves. The laboring leaders are those in the church who are doing the work of the ministry, setting the example. I am going to tell you straight up, and I say it 1,000 times, so it's probably lost some sort of its saltiness, if you want to say that. But man, when people come to our church, they're going to make 1,000 decisions before I ever even say anything as to whether or not they're going to come. How they're greeted at the door, how they're like the lobby, the experience, the music, the worship. There's going to be 1,000 things for how, like, by the time they get to me, they've already probably made their mind up and they're just waiting to see what this guy's like, right? So like the truth here is that there's so many people. I think of the people in the cafe or our check-in section with the first kids and like people coming in with their kids. Like, do we want to let them go off into the, you know, the unknown of those double doors? Like all of that experience is going to shape whether people or not want to be a part of what's happening here at First Ave, or just really at any church whatsoever here. And so it's, the text here says, brothers and sisters, says to here it says, be among, who labor among you. You. This is not a letter written to a pastor. This is not a letter written to the leadership. This is a letter written to the church in Thessalonica. It's written to a congregation, okay? And so oh boy, I better get going. So let's read the next two verses here, okay? The next two verses says this, and we exhort you, not me, you, the church, okay, the people in the church. We exhort you, brothers and sisters, okay? Warn those who are idle, comfort the discouraged, help the weak, and be patient with everyone. I'm going to say that again. It says, warn those who are idle, comfort the discouraged, help the weak, and be patient with everyone. That's why, isn't that why we pay a pastor? I thought that was the pastor's job. Wow, like, no, it's not my job. Not my job to warn the idle. It's not my job, and I put this all with S words, okay? It's not my job to spur people on. No, that's the pastor's job. It's not my job to support the discouraged. No, that's the pastor's job. Or to help the weak, to serve, okay? Or to be patient with everyone, to bring stability. No, it's not my job. It's the pastor's job. And Paul's saying it's not the pastor's job. Let them do what they're doing. It's the congregation, because I'm telling you now, that's going to be the gel. That's going to be the glue, is that when the people are caring for the people, not just having a pastor that they can call at any time. And that's fine. I don't mind. Like, I love having a relationship with everybody. It's just that if I have a relationship with everybody, then I don't really have any relationship. I just have acknowledgement, or what's the word? Acquaintance. Like, right? So it really, like, it's the glue that keeps people together. It's this, when we actually care for one another. And so it's my responsibility as a pastor to model that into caring, right? And so to care for those who are here, but to help people care. Give people okay, I sound like I'm preaching already, and it's like 6:40 something in the morning. Here, that's what we're called to do as a church, okay? The health of the church is carried by the people, not the pastor. It's the people, okay, that are going to carry this whole thing called the church. And the pastor is going to help them do it, okay? I'm telling you, I want people to come to First Ave. Okay, every week I like the online experience. I tell people that in 2020, like in the 20s, whatever, in the 20s, I'm feeling bad already. Thanks, Richard. But like here we go, that it's no longer like our website that's going to be the front door, or the curb appeal of First Ave is YouTube. The curb appeal of First Ave is our Facebook. That's our curb appeal. It's people from can be very, very far away. We've got people in Ontario with us right now. Like, so our reach is really far. We've got people who attend every Sunday who are like long distance. That's awesome. But when people come through the doors of the church, are we caring for them? We care as much as we can online. Are we caring equally as hard on site? Okay, so I want to ask you this question, is that, are you worth befriending, or are you really actually being a friend? I'm befriendable. Okay, so are you being a friend? So in the next millisecond of time, I've got to go through a page and a half of notes. And so I think I may be able to do it, because I've kind of like giving you the of what I want to talk about today. But I want to take a second here, and I want to just go through a few passages and just help bring some perspective. And I really, really, really hope that I get to the end, because I took some time, hallelujah, but I took some time and I rewrote scripture, and I can't even say it's the Craig McKibben version, because I'm not even going to give credit to the Craig McKibben version. It is like, we're going to call it, I don't know, I'm going to have to think of something in the next like 5 minutes or so, but it's maybe we call it the westernized church version or something like that. But okay, so anyways, let's start with 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. And it's, listen to these and understand what he's writing. Peter's writing, he's saying, but you, collective, you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his possession, so that you, not the pastor, not the leadership, not the board, that you may proclaim the praises of the one who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. I'm going to tell you something. Doug, I told you that I met some people, and I'm going to give it away. Carrie and I were out last night, and out on a little bit of a date, and these two people came up, and they're walking by us, and they go, "We know you." And I'm like, "That's you, not me." And so we chatted for a little bit, and do you do this? Do you do that? And you know, do you own a company and stuff? And I'm like, nope. And I said, I'm a minister. And she goes, that's it. She goes, Doug and Lori Spears, right? And she's like, I know you. I know you don't know me, but I know you. And I was like, way to go, Doug. Way to go, Lori. Like, to me, immediately, and I haven't even told you guys, it's all fresh. I was like, I was so proud of you guys. Like, when I heard that, I was like, yes, that's it. So I have no idea if they watched online, if they came to church one Sunday. I'm not sure. But kudos to you guys, okay? So now, right now, Doug, you're probably going to go, I'm going offline. No, seriously, I was so proud of you when I saw that experience. And so I just wasn't even going to say anything, but just that, there you go right now. So that's what it is, that you might proclaim the praises of the one who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. I also want to say this, and this is just free, is that they were pretty sure they knew Carrie. They kept asking Carrie questions, and then they're like, oh yeah, you're the minister. So I was like, said to Carrie, wow, like, you're the one that stands out in the two of us. Anyways, that's fine. I agree, but still, I think let's leave the attractive part out of it. But like that, so I think that's pretty funny. Okay, verse 8. Okay, in 1 Peter 4:9 or 8:9 says this: above all, maintain constant love for one another. Again, we're the glue. We're the glue. Okay, not just me, not just the worship team. We're the glue, not the kids area. Okay, but maintain constant love for one another. Since love covers over a multitude of sins, be hospitable to one another. Okay, I was with Richard this week, and you probably saw the post. The dude is like a master chef. I don't even know how he can get like these like social reprobates, of like people that are going through hormone craziness, and yet they were like rocking it like a whole 5-star experience here. I couldn't even believe it. And it was like, I even said to Richard, like, shouldn't you be doing more? He says, no, they got it. He was just like, he had them going great. I was so impressed with that. But there was this idea here that the hospitable or hospitality, just because he's a great chef and because he puts out these great things, we're to all be hospitable. We're all, interesting that you'd think that hospitality, we get the word hospital. Do you not think that there are this idea that maybe our hospitality brings healing? Man, that's going to be a message. Oh, I got to get going. Okay, that's going to be a message sometime. Okay, so you can say, I saw it here first. Okay, anyways, okay. So I'm just going to keep on going on with this. There's stuff I got to skip over here. Okay, Ephesians chapter 4, verses 2 and 3 says this. It says, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love. Boy, there's a lot of this bearing stuff, okay? Making every effort to keep the unity in the Spirit. Unity is a commitment. It's not a convenience. I haven't found a church that I like. Well, maybe it's because you're not being liked. Maybe you need to help like it. And I'm not judging or anything like that. I'm just saying this, is that unity is a choice. Unity is a decision. You strive for unity, and you see that in different passages. Unity is not convenience. Hey, we all get along. We all like the Patriots. We all like the Seahawks. No, it is the idea of this commitment to unity, okay, through the bond of peace. Not this bond. That's what I've been talking about. But the bond, it's a transactional agreement. That sort of bond. We have made a commitment. Okay, it's a transactional agreement that we are going to do this in peace. We strive for peace. Okay, so let me tell you this. Peace is the goal. It's not the right. I don't have a right to peace. I have a goal for peace. Okay, and that's the decision we make. Okay. Here we go. Okay, well-known passage that I'm going to butcher. Okay, so Acts chapter 2, verses 44 to 47, this is what I'm going to end with. It says, now all the believers were together and held all things in common. This is a great passage, and I've preached it many times. They sold their possessions and property and distributed the proceeds to all, as any had need. Every day they devoted themselves to meeting together in the temple and broke bread from house to house. They ate their food with joyful and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. Every day the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. We want God to add the numbers. Yes! Add the numbers. That's what we want. You know, what do we want? Add the numbers. When do we want it? Now. How are we going to do it? Have no idea. Okay. You take care of it, Craig. You take care of it, worship, or whatever. Like, no, we want the adding of the numbers. Without the holding all things in common part first, or the selling possessions, or the caring for others, or the getting together in smaller groups, or the sharing meals together, or the praising God together. Okay, like we want the revival, but we don't want to be vived. Okay? It's going to be us that need to be that revival there. Okay, so we want all of that without the other things, or maybe I would say that a more Western church version is this. Oh, Lord, forgive me. Okay, here we go. This is what I think the church, our people in the church kind of think. Okay, here we go. This is not the book of Acts, verse 2, verse 47, or this is not Acts 2, 44 to 47. I call this the book of quacks. Okay, this is just what happens when I do. Quacks 2, 44 to 47. It says this. Now other believers brought everyone together and held their things in common. They sold their possessions and property and distributed the proceeds to all of us and we felt entitled to them, and as we felt it was necessary. Every day, they devoted themselves to being responsible to make sure to invite us to meet together in the temple, but only when it was convenient for us. And it wasn't our responsibility ever to invite others. They also broke bread at their houses, making sure we were invited, though. Even if we had no intention of ever going, we just wanted to be invited. We ate their food with joyful and sincere hearts because we didn't have to do anything. I decided, okay. And we all know that the meals and we know that the meals are always better when someone else makes them. That's true. Sandwiches are always better when someone else makes them. Okay. We were praising God and enjoying the contributions of everyone else. And because our church was doing such a great job caring for the people, even seeming like we had something to do with it, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. Okay. This is not the book of quacks. The recipe for this is the book of Acts. Okay? We become attractive when we become active. That's the key. To be attractive comes from us choosing to be active in the church. Okay? I want to say this. And I told people on Sunday that I would say what the next series is, so I've got to throw that in here. But this is the first step. I want to challenge you. I'm going to challenge myself to do this, but I'm going to challenge you. This Sunday, or in the next week, but this Sunday, it'll be the easiest time to do it, which is the Rock'em Sock'em Sunday. You got to come out, guys, because we're going to be doing the finger punching and stuff like that. Okay, so you got to come out for that. But this Sunday, we're in this series called The God Of. But what I want you to do is go up and meet somebody new. Okay? It's your job. Like, you want to do this? Take the first step. Just go up to somebody, either new or very little, that you know them, and I will give extra points to anybody who says, let's go for coffee. To the point where you hand me the receipt, I will personally pay for that coffee. I will personally pay for that coffee encounter, okay? I believe in this so much. I want to encourage you to take that first step and do that. I know it's already 7 bells, so I just want to say this, is that the next series that's coming up in July, we are so excited about it. It's called Everybody Ought to Know, okay? And Everybody Ought to Know. And so what we're doing is, and I'll give more details about it on Sunday and the next weeks, is that we're going to be doing a series of verses that we feel everyone should know by heart and memorize those verses. And so there's a bit of a thing coming up this summer. I'm going to leave it with you a little bit hanging on that, but everybody ought to know. We're going to be doing verses in the Bible that we feel everybody should know by heart. And so I'm excited about that. Let's be an attractive church by choosing to be active as a church. I am so excited to see you guys on Sunday, and thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing the revival of what God does in our book of Acts, not the book of quacks. Okay, God bless you guys. Bye.